News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide, the choice is clear. And Micronesia Renewable Energy, go solar for zero money down. And Colgate Optic White, whiter teeth in 1 week. From the Pacific News Center in Hagåtña, Guam, here's Clint Ridgell and Janella Carrera. Betsy Brown. Roselle Romanos. PNC Sports with Blake Watson. And weather with Rebecca Kim. With your news now.
Hoffadan, good evening. You're watching PNC's News Now. Today is Tuesday, October the 21st, and I'm Janella Carrera.
And I'm Clint Ridgell. Thanks for tuning in. Topping your news tonight, 3 armed robberies occurred today, 2 of them within minutes of each other. Guam Police Acting Spokesman Officer Paul Tapao says the first robbery was reported around 1:30 this morning at the NCS Shell Station. The second and third armed robberies occurred at 3:23 p.m. and 3:25 p.m. at 2 different Lucky Land game rooms. According to Tapao, a man described as possibly local with a heavy-set build and standing about 5 feet 11 inches tall entered the Lucky Game Room on Machechi Road in Deredo at 3:25 p.m. and demanded money. The man was armed with a black pistol and was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt, blue jeans, and a black mask. The Harmon Lucky Land Game Room was also robbed at gunpoint only minutes before. Officer Tapao says a man armed with a black and silver handgun entered that game room demanding money. He's described as 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 11 inches tall, and he was wearing an inverted blue long-sleeved shirt and a mask. A man with a similar description to that of the man in Harmon also robbed the NCS Shell Station this morning. Officer Tapao asks anyone with information on any of these robberies to contact Guam Police.
Should anybody have any information or should anybody had witnessed what had occurred, please, we encourage them to call the Guam Police at 475-8615-6 or 7. Or if they feel that they want to remain anonymous, we want to also remind them that Guam Crime Stoppers pays rewards for any information that leads to the arrest, of course, of this case. And we want to remind the viewers out there, the phone number is 477-HELP. It's 477-4357.
No injuries were reported in relation to any of the armed robberies.
The Guam Memorial Hospital says to put all those rumors about their CFO to bed. It is now official. Alan Ulrich is leaving the hospital, but he's ending his contract 1 month short. He explains why.
Thank you, Alan, and I wish you and Terry nothing but the best.
The Guam Memorial Hospital held a press conference this afternoon to announce and confirm that their chief financial officer, Alan Ulrich, is in fact leaving the hospital.
It's true that I won't be renewing my employment contract at GMH. After my May marriage to Terry, my wonderful friend and partner, I confirmed to Joe that I would not renew my contract. I confirmed October 31st as my last day of work.
Ulrich will be leaving GMH just 1 month shy of fulfilling his 2-year contract. He explains why.
I asked why not just fulfill the full contract.
And I'll let Alan respond to that.
You know, I made a commitment to my wife when I was married that my life should be with her. Last week, when speaking with the Gov Guam employee about my departure, she asked why I was leaving Paradise. I told her I was leaving Paradise to go to heaven to be with my wife. Not that she's in heaven.
So who will replace Ulrich? Well, for now, it'll be Department of Administration Director Benita Manglotña, who was sent to GMH just a few weeks ago by Governor Calvo to assist with the hospital's finances.
You'll be wearing 2 huge hats. How will you be able to handle those jobs?
Well, there will be somebody that will be assisting at DOA.
While you're here?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Verga responds to rumors that have been swirling surrounding Ulrich's departure.
What are some of those rumors or anyone who's in?
I don't comment on rumors, you know. I don't listen to rumors. I don't read blogs anymore. I know you've all been curious and asking, and Alan was away on, you know, a personal emergency and then came back, and I wanted to wait really till Alan got back and then have him make his own statement to you folks and explain the real reason why, you know.
And Manglotña will remain the interim CFO until a permanent CFO can be hired.
Lawmakers went in a session this afternoon to discuss a bill that was sent down from the governor's office to pay for overtime for law enforcement personnel. Here's more. After working closely with Senator Brant McCready, the governor's office introduced a bill that would appropriate $4 million to be used to pay for overtime to GPD, DOC, and GFD. Today, members of all three public safety agencies turned up at the legislature to show their support for the measure.
I think it's important that not just the departments and the agencies, but this legislature fight for what is right, and that's for every red cent of time worked for our first responders, Department of Corrections, and our fire department. We have to make sure that we take care of the people that watch over us and keep us safe.
Yesterday, Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz referred to this bill as a political ploy that was timed just 2 weeks out from the election.
This is a political season, and some people may think this is politics, and some people may think this is not politics. There's a lesson to be learned in everything. Some things you do right, some things you do wrong. This is something we're doing right.
The funding for the bill will come out of the unallocated balance of the Tourist Attraction Fund and the surplus balance of the Series A 2007 General Obligation Bond. Vice Speaker Cruz questioned the bond funding source and whether or not it was the right source to tap. He pointed to a letter that was given to the legislature during a previous session that advised the legislature against using borrowed money for operational costs.
Is there any possibility that this would negatively impact Guam's credit rating because we're utilizing for operational funds?
Definitely not.
Okay. You're on your oath. I just wanted to make sure that we have that on the record that it wouldn't.
Lawmakers recessed until tomorrow at 9 a.m., where they will continue discussing the measure in the Committee of the Whole.
The hybrid retirement bill has been pulled off the session floor and sent back to committee. This morning, in response to various questions raised by senators with regards to how the proposed hybrid plan would work under different scenarios, the legislature received nearly 40 pages of new information from the retirement fund. Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz says that lawmakers need more time to read and digest all of the new information before they go back on the floor to discuss the bill. The Vice Speaker is not sure if they will be able to pass the bill before the election, which is just 2 weeks away.
We may be able to get it back out next week. Unfortunately, probably won't be acted on before the election, but I want to keep the discussion alive.
Cruz says that he will not give up on the measure, as 7,800 GovGuam employees need something to be done with their retirement.
An autopsy on Rodrigo Garcia, the construction worker that died from an accident at the Dusatani Hotel site on Saturday, indicates that he died from a fractured skull. Medical examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola says there was also hemorrhaging on the back of Garcia's head and neck, which he believes may have been caused by an object falling on Garcia from behind, like a scaffold. Dr. Espinola tells us that Garcia's employer, Pacific Rim Land Development, had trouble finding out exactly what had happened because the other construction worker who was reportedly pushing the scaffold called in sick today. He also informs us that hospital records were wrong. Garcia was not born in 1941. According to his family members, he was born in 1946, making him 68 years old.
All right, we'll stay right there. Coming up next on News Now. A cap on worker visas could mean a higher cost of living on Guam.
And a new master carver is declared. We'll be back with more of your News Now on PNC after this.
Hey, half a day. Do you have a football appetite that needs curbing? Well, GNYFF doubleheader. We have too much football in PNC sports. The Giants stand tall and the Jets crash and burn. Yeah, it's kind of sad. But more sports coming up.